Hi everyone. To continue our discussion of base number systems, let's talk about counting in different bases. So let's write the first 20 base 10 numbers in base 5. So keep in mind here we're grouping by fives, so these numbers will look a little bit different, but they'll still represent the same first 20 quantities in base 10. Now we're going to start with 1 here. You could start with 0 in all of these bases, so just an arbitrary decision to start counting at 1. Okay, so everything's normal with 1, 2, 3, and 4. In base 5, things get different when we get to the number 5. I don't write this as 5 ones anymore. I regroup and think of this as one group of 5 with 0 ones left over. Okay, now all of these should have little subscripts with 5s on them. That's going to be a bit tedious to write, so I'll just do the first few here. All right, and then from there we'll perhaps just assume that these are base 5 numbers. Or maybe I'll even do this for this first example at least, and then stop writing the subscripts. Okay, so now we're moving on. Next is the number 6, and that's one group of 5 and 1 1 left over. 7 is a group of 5 and 2 1s. 8 is a group of 5 and 3 1s. 9 is a group of 5 and 4 1s. And then 10 is 2 groups of 5 and 0 1s. All right, so it looks like 20, but we don't read it that way because 20, the word 20, its origins mean 2 10s. All right, and we want to indicate that these are 2 groups of 5, not 2 10s. So we would just read this number 2 0 base 5. And that would mean 2 groups of 5, 0 1s. Okay, so that's 10, and then moving on to 11 is 2 groups of 5 and 1 1. Okay, 12 is 2 5s and 2 1s. 13 is 2 5s and 3 1s. 14 is 2 5s and 4 1s. And then 15 is 3 groups of 5 with 0 1s. Okay, so as soon as you can get to a group of 5, you do make that a group. Okay. Then 16 is 3 5s and 1 1. 17 is 3 5s and 2 1s. 18 is 3 5s and 3 1s. Okay, and then let's see, we have, that's 18. 19 is 3 5s and 4 1s. And then finally 20 is 4 5s and 0 1s. All right, so notice we're still using some of the same digits, but notice which ones we're not actually using. Right? All of the numbers here, aside from the little subscript, are the numbers or the digits 0 through 4. So think about, will we ever need the digit 5 other than the subscript? And the answer is actually no, because as soon as we have 5 of anything, we roll that over to the next place up. Okay? Just like when we get to, in base 10, a number like 999. Okay? The next number, I don't write 9, 9, and then I don't write the digit 10, right? Because as soon as I have a group of 10, I carry that 1 over, all right, and bump up the next place value. Right? So, maybe a better example, let's make this an 8. Okay, if I had 9, 8, 9, I don't write this as 9, 8, 10. I write this as 9, 9, 0, the next number up. Okay, so just 9, 8, 9, and then plus 1 instead of 10. Okay, 10 1s becomes 110, an extra 10, with 0 1s left over. Right. So we only actually ever need digits up to the one right before the base that we're in. Okay, so like in base 8, I'm only going to need digits 0 through 7, and anytime I have 8 of something, I would regroup that. Okay, in base 10, that's our system. Okay, we use digits 0 through 9. All right, let's try base 2. So now we're counting by 2s, and this time we regroup whenever we have any 2s or any 4s all right, or any any 8s. Okay, so their place values are 1 and then 2. 2 squared is 4, and then 8. Okay, 2s, 4s, the 8's place, the 16's place, and so forth. Okay, so we'll write the first 10 base 10 numbers in base 2. And maybe I better write the subscripts on these so we don't get confused. Okay, so we have 1. Now instead of writing 2, I don't want to think of this as 2 1s. I want to think of this as the next place value, the next larger spot. All right, so this would be one group of 2 and 0 1s. Then 3 is a group of 2 and 1 1. And then 4, I don't want to think of this as 2 2s, I want to think of this as a single group of 4s. All right, so this would be one group of 4, no 2s, and no 1s. All right, so how's that? That looks pretty weird. Looks like 100, but that actually represents the number 4. All right, 5 is 1 4, 0 2s, and 1 1. 6 is a group of 4, a group of 2, and 0 1s. 7 is a group of 4. Okay, and let's see, where are we at? 7. Okay, group of 4, a group of 2, and 1 1. Okay, so this is 4 plus 2 plus 1, and that's 7. Okay, and then 8. All right, well that's enough to make the next place value. So 8 is a group of 8, 0 4s, 0 2s, and 0 1s. 9 is one more than that, so we have a group of 8, no 4s, no 2s, and 1 1. And then finally 10 is a group of 8, 0 4s. We do have enough to make a group of 2, and no 1s. All right, so notice in this base, in base 2, we're only using 0s and 1s because anytime we have 2 of anything, it's enough to make it the next larger group. And again, these numbers, we would read these differently. So this last one, I would read this 1 0 1 0 base 2. Notice also we don't use any commas within a number. Commas are something that we reserve as unique for base 10. And then let's look at the first 10 base 10 numbers in base 8. So now we're counting by 1s. We group when we get to 8. And then we wouldn't group again until we get to 64. That's 8 squared. Okay, so the first 10 base 10 numbers should only take us up into double-digit numbers. Okay, so we have 1, 2, I'll put the subscripts. Okay, 1 base 8, 2 base 8, 3 base 8, and I just keep going. I don't have enough yet to group and make any groups of 8. Alright, 7 base 8, but then when I get to 8, that's enough to be one group of 8 and 0 1s left over. So you'll notice we kind of switch over to double-digit numbers, and then to triple-digit numbers again, right? Or you'll see these zeros anytime you have multiples of that number. Okay, so multiples of 8 are going to be the ones that look like 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, things like that. Okay, so we're at the number 8. Next is the number 9. That's a group of 8 and 1 1. And then finally the number 10 is a group of 8 and 2 1s. Alright, now I could keep going. This example is just the first 10 numbers, but just to give you a glimpse of what this looks like, let's keep going. Okay, we would have 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, 1 7, and then instead of 1 8, that would actually be 2 groups of 8 and 0 1. So this is the number 16. This is 2 groups of 8 plus 0 1s. That's 16. Okay, and then next would be 2 1 base 8, to 2, etc., all the way up. Okay, to 4, to 5, to 6, to 7, and then instead of 2, 8, this would be 3 groups of 8 and 0 ones. Okay, so this would be the number 24. All right, so that gives you a glimpse of counting in different bases. Now for extra practice, you could just try some different bases. What would counting look like in base 3 or in base 4? And see if you are comfortable doing that.